Hello, y'all. We're back on air. All right, I was fiddling around with some other software a little earlier. Could not get the camera to work with the software, but I'll figure it out probably over the weekend. But welcome to Artco Drone Solutions. Uh, got a little haircut here. I was getting really shaggy. So it's another week, another dollar. Yeah, as you can see, I got the P3 up for sale again. Uh, Only this time on the listing, I said no international shipping. So that'll be good. So far, it's doing really well, and I'm expecting that it will sell pretty good. I think I'll probably get $300 for it. Uh, I sweetened the pot a little bit. I threw another set of props in and a motor grabber for when you put the props on or take them off. Threw that in. Maybe that might help it sell a little higher. But right now, if you remember, I worked on that camera and I got most of it apart. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to get the other yaw arm off so I can start replacing the yaw and the pitch arms on. If you notice, last time they were both bent. So the boards look good. Uh, the the tape that the wiring, the doohickey, the thingamabob that makes the camera work. That looks like it's in good shape. So all I have to do is replace the arms, get it all back together. Um, Another project I want to do is I want to make a what they call a Favic or a phony Mavic, and that is using the existing Phantom 3 board, and you can put it into a case that looks like a Mavic, and it folds up just like a Mavic, only it's a little wider, and but the props don't fold up. Still got to take the props off, and from what I hear, it's a little quieter than the standard the P3, and they have it set up to where you could put a P3 Pro, a P3 uh, Advanced, because it does have the outputs for the sensors on it, which I probably will build one later on, and then that could be my little Mavic clone, and it'll be a lot cheaper than spending several $100s for a uh, a real Mavic. Probably what I'll do is I'll get a busted up Phantom 3 Advanced or Pro, one with the 4K camera. If I could fix the camera, and it's got a mount where you could use the existing camera on it. If I could get a 4K camera on it, that would be great. And I could use the existing sensors to mount on there, and it'll be almost just like a Mavic, only it's a little bit wider than a Mavic, and it takes the old P3 batteries, which is good. But if I'm going to use the P3 Pro and Advanced, and I've got to buy their uh, transmitter because it's different than the standard. I can even put a P3 SE in there. the one with the 4K camera. But I'll probably put one together, fly it around a bit, and sell it to make another one and make an advanced with the 4K camera and make a really nice drone for half the price of a P4 or a Mavic. It'll do almost everything that the P4 does. Now, the P4 has I think the forward sensors and it's got the bottom sensors as well. So that'll be cool. Uh, so no listeners, no watchers tonight. Uh, so I'm gonna try and do some flying this weekend. Looks like I've got a regular work schedule this week. Don't have to uh, work overtime on Saturday. So probably what I'll do is I'm thinking about flying around some of the notable homes around the Denver area. One of the places I really like to fly around is the Richthofen Castle, which is right on the edge of Denver, where it's almost into Aurora. And if your case you're wondering, it's the Red Baron's cousin who moved here to Colorado in the late 1890s and built this lavish home that kind of looks like a castle. So it'll be interesting to fly around there. What I'll do is I'll go ask permission. I don't want to fly over the house or anything. I just kind of want to fly around the perimeter and get some photographs and some videos. And I think it would make kind of a neat little short history video that I could do about the original homeowner and uh, all that and how that relates to the famous German fighter pilot of World War One. If my memory serves me correct, the Red Baron had 108 kills in his Ford uh, triplane uh, fighter that he used. Uh, if you don't know, Hermann Goering, the famous Luftwaffe general of World War II, was a fighter ace in World War One, and I believe he's got 86 kills uh, to his credit. Not quite up to the Red Baron, but quite impressive. And another home I would like to fly around is the Molly Brown house. Molly Brown, if you don't remember, there was a movie made uh, by Debbie Reynolds on the life of Molly Brown. Molly Brown was a woman who her husband struck became rich in the gold and silver mining. And when he passed away, his fortune went to her, and she survived the Titanic sinking. So that'll be another uh, building that I would like to get some photographs and fly around. The state capitol is another place I like to fly around. Also down in southeast Colorado, near my friend Rick Enstrom's home, there is the Amachi Japanese internment camp. Now the buildings are gone, but the foundations are still there. You can still see them. There is a replica of one of the barracks and a guard tower. So that would be kind of interesting to fly around that and get some photos and video of that. So that's another project I have on Horizon. Another thing I would like to do is grain elevators at some of the towns along the rail routes. Some of them are quite impressive. There's one in Eads, Colorado, that I would like to go to, and then there's one in Yuma and Idalia, Colorado, which are way out east, almost near the Kansas or Nebraska border. So I like doing those, and any farm buildings, any abandoned farmhouses. I could get some video of that. There's a lot of really interesting stuff out there. There are even some abandoned missile silos out there. What I saw something. Oh, I know what that flash was. That was just the reflection off my camera off of the screen here. Anyway, got distracted. So those are some of the things I like to do. I like to get some video up in the mountains, but I'm kind of limited to under 10,000 feet, actually under 8,000 feet, because I suffer from altitude sickness and I will pass out. So I have a lung issue. So that's kind of tricky. If I have to go up there, I want to go with someone driving. Go up there, and especially right now, with the leaves are starting to change up in the mountains. If I could get some video of that. Oh, and some of the abandoned gold mines, I'd like to do some videos around there too. So those are some of the interesting places around Colorado that I would like to fly my drone around. That's one of the things I like about flying drones is I get to work on my photography and videography, and it kind of hones my flying skills. I haven't been flying because I've been so busy with work. I I get as much overtime as I can so that I get buy these little puppies here, try them out, and sell them down the road. Uh, one of the places that I like to purchase my drones is a website called um, propertyroom.com. Basically, what it is, it's a police auction website. It's opened up to the United States. And coming up here in the next few days, there is an unopened Phantom 3 standard box. So somehow someone stole this and never opened it up. It got put into evidence, and after the trial, so they sell these items. They sell everything: bicycles, tools, cars, motorcycles, boats, planes, uh, artwork, jewelry, computers. I mean, cameras, you name it, they got it. Uh, my only thing that I don't like about them is their shipping and handling prices are out of sight sometimes. That's how I got one of the Drocon drones is through them. It was just the drone itself. It didn't come with the remote control, and I think I got it for like $18, but I ended up buying another Drocon that never flown. It's new in the box. You see the little box down on the floor there. It came with a remote. I got it for less than the drone that I got from the police auction website. They get a lot of other drones. They get like ProMark, SEMA, Holy Stone drones. Then there's AEE, and I'm kind of eyeing that one. That one looks like a nice drone. I think it's because I looked at brand new ones, and they're going for over $300. But this is without the remote control, and it's got a few dings and nicks on it, but it looks pretty good. But from some of the videos I've seen on YouTube, its weakness is even though it's got a 1080p camera, it's got a really nice camera, but the gimbal is not very good. You get a lot of shake in the video when you're taking video while you're flying. And I'd kind of like to know how they store that video. Is there an SD card slot on it, or do you download this to your phone? I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing how they do that. But you can get the remote control on eBay, but I'd like to find out where I could get a battery charger for it. So it may go fairly cheap on this one. It looks like one of the ProMarks that they have. I think it's a V70 or something like that. Anyway, it comes with the remote. So that one, last I saw the bid was like $14. But it's got a 720 camera, and I'm not really impressed with that. So, and that's about it. A few weeks ago, they did have a unique Typhoon Q500, but it was in pretty rough shape. One of the arms was broken off. Uh, it needed a lot of work, but it still went for like, um, I guess, 30 or $40. I mean, brand new. These things cost a lot of money, and it comes with a really nice 4K camera on it. It'd be nice if I could snag one of those and fix it up. There's a lot of parts for those out there. So, and then there is some other brands of drones that are they're pretty good that have the auto stabilization and GPS, and uh, the SEMAs are some pretty good SEMAs. If you get the newer ones with the auto stabilization. Now they've got a new Buds 3 that has auto stabilization GPS, and it's supposed to be pretty good. And you can hook up your GoPro to it and use that. So this is going to be a short show. Just wanted to see how this is going. Hopefully next week I'll figure out how to get that other um, software working, because what I want to do is set up my studio to where, okay, you can see my thumbnail and super chats and all that neat stuff. I think in order to get the super chats to work, you need to get up over 1,000 subscribers, and several hundred hours of video and stuff like that. So I want to thank you all for watching. And oh, hey, it's Steve Mack is in the house. Steve, how's it going with you? I'm glad you liked my winter video. I just saw your name up there. That's great. I got one person watching, one thumbs up. All right, cool. I'm doing pretty good. Just been working a lot of hours. And oh, you're near Toronto. Oh, cool. I was in Toronto back in the early 90s. I met some people in when I was, this is back in my stand up comedy days when I was a stand up comedian. I met a couple from Peterborough when I was working in Aruba, and they invited me to their home. And one night John and I went to Toronto to watch the Blue Jays play. So that's my experience in Toronto. It's a beautiful city. Uh, yeah, Peterborough is it's a beautiful town. They lived on a farm, and I got to do some fishing at the canals. Oh, the fishing was great. If I lived there, I'd be busy fishing and flying my drone. It's a beautiful country up there. Okay. Uh, the only other part of uh, Ontario that I've been to is I've been to Windsor many times because I used to live in Detroit. Okay, hold on. I got a message on Facebook. Okay, cool. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, I'm back. I've been to Windsor. Did some comedy there. Um, been to Niagara Falls. Where else? I've been to Godrich and Kincardine. Oh man, did the Blue Jays win? Oh, I don't remember. It was so long ago. I think they did win that game, but that was like uh 91, I think. 90, yeah, I think it was 91. But yeah, Ontario's the only province I've been to in Canada. I want to see some of the other. No, I didn't go to Toronto Island. No, no. But I want to go to Quebec. I want to go to Montreal and Ottawa. I want to go to the Maritime province. Go up to Labrador and Prince Edward Island, go over that area. My parents were really fond of the Upper New England area. They wanted to restore a home in Maine, and one year we decided to go up there in the wintertime, and they decided no, that wasn't for them. So, but my parents they've been to the Maritime. Yeah, East Coast is beautiful. My folks used to live in Seattle. This was well before I was born. They've been to Vancouver, British Columbia, and they've been camping in the interior of British Columbia. But yeah, I'd like to go there. I'd like to go to Alaska. Alaska and Delaware are the only two states I haven't been to in the United States. everywhere else I've been to Hawaii. I was just in the Philippines a year and a half ago. I can't wait to go back there. Next time I go there, I am taking a drone with me. Yes, that's the one great thing about my comedy career is I got to do a lot of traveling. I'm based out of here in Denver, Colorado. Most of my work was in the Southeast and the Midwest. And it was so that's where I got to do a lot of my work. But I was lucky enough to get to, I did stand up comedy for 25 years. Saw a lot of people that are famous now that were just on the cusp of becoming famous. Uh, like Sinbad was one of the first comedians I met who actually talked to me after the show. Very super nice guy. And what my highlight of my comedy career was entertaining our troops in Japan and South Korea. So that was my my first taste of Asia, and but it was in the wintertime. It was cold, and it snowed a little bit in Japan and South Korea. But the high point was we got to go to Okinawa, which is subtropical, so the weather was much nicer there. So what got me to the Philippines was Facebook. I met a woman on Facebook. We got to be friends, and so I went out there to see her. Ended up getting engaged. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but I'm going back. I've got another friend out there that I met through a couple that I met on my trip to the Philippines. So but I got to go to Manila, got to see the old part of the city and the new part, which is Makati, which is kind of their Wall Street of the Philippines. A lot of high rise. There's even a Trump Towers in Makati. Beautiful city. Went to the cemetery where a lot of our uh, soldiers are buried there that from World War II. So that was a very interesting place. And then my girlfriend and I, we got to vacation on an island called Mindoro. And we were at a resort called Bad Lads in Puerto Galera, Mindoro. Beautiful island. If I get a chance to go back there, I'm going to see more of the island. It's a pretty good sized island. But my next trip, I will be going to the island of Cebu and meet some friends there. I have some Facebook friends there. And then I will go to Mindanao and meet some friends there. My goddaughter lives in Davao City, which is the the capital of Mindanao, and that's where the current president is from. Uh, Rodrigo Duterte is the president of the Philippines. Sadly, they lost 65 people from the typhoon that just passed through there. Most of them were miners that were operating in an illegal open mine pit. So, and that's where I want to retire. I won't have to shovel snow. They do get earthquakes and they do have volcanoes there and typhoons. But yes, it was a bad typhoon. It hit the northern part of Luzon, and right now I think it's probably fizzling out in China. It went towards Hong Kong and northern Vietnam. Yep. Uh, Yolanda was a very bad. Uh, yeah, that's right. You get that if you live on the island of Hawaii. Boy, how about those folks that lost their homes to the Kilauea volcano? But in the Philippines, well, most of their volcanoes are the cone shaped volcanoes. And if those go off, you'll either get uh, not lava, I mean, you'll get some pyroclastic debris, which can be bad, but mostly you'll just get ash. And sometimes you'll get flooding because it'll clog up the rivers. And then if there's a heavy rainstorm, it causes a lot of problems there. But Pinatubo was the last, yep, lots of ash. Yep. And they get earthquakes there, but the homes are over there are made of concrete instead of wood like we build in the United States and Canada. They build them that way. Well, it's cheaper and it's a lot safer because it's able to withstand the stress of an earthquake. They call them hollow blocks, and what it is, it's we call them uh, concrete cinder blocks. That's what they look like, and and the piping goes through, the hollow part. But I'm watching another video of an American who's building a home in the Philippines. He's married to a Filipina, and they own a home in South Carolina. So he experienced the hurricane or the typhoon in the Philippines, while his wife got to experience the hurricane in South Carolina just recently. So that was interesting. Oh, so in Canada, all you have to worry about is big blizzards, and we get them here in Denver once in a while. We'll get a huge storm that just dumps uh, a lot of snow. The last big snowstorm we had was I think it was '03. I was living in Aurora, Colorado, which is a suburb of East Denver. We got 41 inches of snow. Yeah. And I mean, that was over 3 feet of snow in about, 2 or 3 days. And it just kept piling up. Now, we moved to Michigan back, okay. We moved to Michigan in 72, and we moved back to Denver in 71. And when we lived in Michigan, the biggest snowstorm I saw was 17 inches. And I thought, oh man, but that's that wet, heavy snow. And that snow stays on the ground all winter. Where here, it'll snow maybe a few inches, and then in a couple days it's gone because we'll have nice warm weather in the upper 30s, low 40s that melts at all. But up in the mountains, they get, I mean, some places get over 100 inches of snow, and that's our fresh water up there. Colorado is the site of 5 major rivers in the United States. There's the Rio Grande starts here. We've got the North and South Platte. We've got the Colorado River, and we've got the Arkansas River that run. Oh, and then there's the Green River, which goes out to Utah. But we get enough snow here. Usually only 1 to 3 bad storms a year. Yeah, I mean, if we get over 6 inches here, that's pretty bad. A couple years ago, we had an 11-inch snowstorm where I got a day off from work because well, as you can see, I live in an apartment complex, and well, they don't shovel the parking area right away. So if I can't get my car out of the parking lot, I don't go to work. And no sense me walking to the main street to catch a bus because that ain't happening either. So, one of the other things about Ontario, I've been watching a guy from Ontario. He's a rock hound where he used the 4x4 on the street. Well, nice. Yeah, and this guy, he goes to old mines up in Ontario, and he goes uh, collects rocks. And what he does is he cuts them up, and he looks for crystals and what else? Oh, he's got a rock tumbler, and he's kind of interesting to watch. Getting a little parched here. Gonna have my Mountain Dew red, code red. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to cut back. I really should. What I started drinking coffee a few months ago. My ex fiance got me hooked on coffee when we were in the Philippines, so I got liking coffee. That gets me through the morning at work. Well, Steve, I'm going to shut this puppy down. I want to thank you for coming to my show. You have a pleasant evening. Oh, God, it's got to be almost 10 o'clock there. So, thank you very much, and you have a good night. All right, bye bye.